Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Dad and Sons podcast. Although, if you saw this episode title and you are watching the video of this episode right now, you may notice we're doing something a little different this week. We are accompanying the audio of this game to footage of the game of us mucking around here in this game.
Welcome to Dadland.
Where we are just running around in circles.
This is the beauty of Valheim. Chasing your bros.
So I guess we should kind of mention that we're going to have the server up for everyone to fuck around in after.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sons and the daughters will be able to pick up after us and get our little village going.
Yeah, we are like the gods of this world. We form it, we shape it, we fuck off, and then it is yours. Dadland will be yours.
We'll occasionally be narrating what's going on for those of you listening at home. And once again, if you've seen the title of the episode, you may be worrying if we are just going to talk about Valheim, you know, the current flavor of the month, the like hot indie darling of the now. But no, we're actually in opposition. In opposition of all the best business practices, we are going to try to do a regular podcast episode at the same time as the Let's Play of this game. So that also means discussing about other games we have played, other media we have consumed, while also discussing some news stories from this week, while also taking your listener questions at the end of the episode, while also building us a cute little Viking village.
We're already almost dying to a ball. This is going incredibly well. Oh, fuck!
Why did that tree fall? Oh, okay. Matt, I'm assuming you were doing that with the axe,
Oh,
not with
absolutely.
your hands.
There's a grayling! Guys, I need your help. It doesn't help if I die so early in the episode.
A good place to start off on, I just want to say, is that I'm never going to be able to play, like, a craft 'em up again where the trees don't actually fall
Yeah, they don't
down.
kill you.
Like, that is so
If anybody...
good. Oh, look at
If
that!
anybody was questioning Matt's gamer credentials, he's already got, like, an axe. Already.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I can go back to games where the trees disappeared, you know? Like look at them roll around. They are causing chaos. There is pandemonium in the forest.
So what else alongside Valheim have you guys been doing this week? It's been a while because we're recording pretty late this week due to my life being in the way. But what have you been doing this week other than Valheim?
Well, you know, I was playing Bloodborne, and then Luke Hero happened.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all kind of feeding our addictions from the hot new games, it
We've all
looks
been
like.
playing fairly like similar games recently, which is pretty good.
Well, all three of us did do a server day with
did.
Valheim in the Dad and Sons Discord, and that was absolutely a blast. This game has such a different dynamic with multiplayer on. But one thing that I thought was really interesting was that when someone joined, they just immediately asked right away, "What makes Valheim different from the regular craft 'em up games?"
You're a Viking.
There's more, like this cool physics engine. You said that just as a tree came tumbling down into three beautiful rigid
That's true.
bodies. God, they're such good rigid bodies. The physics system is definitely more involved. Like, it almost feels like kind of Minecraft 2 in a way. Like that same core loop, but just with like bigger, better technology behind everything.
I love the building in this game. It's so janky. Like it just works in such a janky way that it really allows me to build my dreams, like building a bed on top of two ladders in the sky. Where else can you do that?
I'm wondering where that dream came from.
It's well, I don't know. Being a Viking. I will admit though, same as Matt, it's been hard. Like trying to play Valheim, but also trying to stop playing Loop Hero has been incredibly tough. So Matt, I'm assuming you've finished it like 8 times now.
Jesus.
Yeah, I may have finished it after telling you what it was, a Q&A? Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished it that morning after.
God damn it.
The Q&A.
God
Yeah.
frickin' damn it.
But like once you kind of realize how how they do things, it's not too hard to like get to like the last boss and stuff. Like, I would say, not to, if you want to figure out on your own way how to do this, you might want to skip 5 minutes. But like through chapter 1 through 3, like literally, like the thief can just steamroll everybody. As long as you make the right decisions, you get and you spawn a lot of monsters, specifically probably like vampire, like strong enemies, vampire or blood growth stuff enemies.
Vampire.
Always have a ton of them. You can turn in all your trophies from the thief to get like incredibly high level gear. And then every loop you just get great gear over and over and over again. And you're just over leveled by the end of it. And any boss you come across, you're just killing them. Now for the last one, I gotta say Necromancer in chapter 4 is pretty much makes it like super easy. I wouldn't say super easy, but I guess my play style.
But unlocking these characters is pretty tough, right? Like you have to play the game a fair amount in chapter 1 and 2 before you get the thief, or even before you even get in the rogue.
Because you have to do build. Like it's not like the thing is with this game is you have these cards, and not all of the cards are useful for the character that you're playing. You have 3 classes. You have your warrior, your thief, and your necromancer. Right? And all these cards, the type of build you do and how you set up your tiles when you're actually playing the loop, that's what really benefits you and actually makes the game easier or harder depending on like what you learn. It's so fucking good. It's so good. It's got to be. When you said this was one of your favorite games, I now understand. Like because it's so satisfying to figure shit out, and figure out what works and what doesn't work, and when you figure it out, when you find out a nice build that feels rewarding and you kill the boss, you're like, yeah, this guy was almost impossible just like 5 hours ago. No, he's not. But it does have like the RPG feeling as well. Like you get to level up your town as well, and place and rearrange your town how you want to rearrange your town, and those give you buffs. And then there's all sorts of shit that you can upgrade. It's not just like, oh, you're just going around in a loop and that's pretty much it. Yeah. But yeah, like as you go on, you unlock new cards, you unlock new abilities from your town. It is a well thought out game. Sure, certain cards probably not so good, but I think for what it is, my God, was it $13?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Did I pay 30? I played 30 hours of this game. 30 hours, and that was in a short span.
That was like 5 days, right? Something.
Yeah, like the first 2 days were just me playing this. It was, yeah. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
It is a good one. I love like having it in front of my eyes. I love the way it looks. I love all the little mechanical pieces of it like working in tandem. And I saw like a tweet from somebody, I think it was like one of the head editors of IGN or something, and they were like, man, I really wish I could like Loop Hero, but it's so ugly. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what's wrong with that guy?
Are you honestly kidding me? It's like one of the most like charming little games I've seen.
It has an extremely efficient art style that makes every single pixel count, and isn't that what you want?
It's just, man, I love that. I love that little game. It's freaking adorable.
It's good.
It's very, very good.
Good. Yeah, it's very, very good. I fully agree with Liam's assessment. I was like, oh my God, what? I didn't know it was this good. Apparently it's that good.
Does anything really interesting end up happening with the story as you go through?
I mean, I'm not as far as I'm on chapter 3, so I'm nowhere near as far as Matt. But
really,
like, it's interesting. I feel like they could have done more, just in general, just because the premise is so interesting that the world doesn't exist anymore, but it exists in the fragments of memories, and you can collect these fragments. and you can sort of rebuild the world like out of that. It's I don't know. You kind of ignore it because you spend so many times doing the loot, and you're just like, okay, the workbench is now not exposed. We have building abilities.
Is it?
It is now not
you
going to
covered
get
up
banned
its
on
dick.
Twitch
Good.
for exposing itself.
Hell yeah! I can
get rid of this thing. That
repair everything in one single click.
This is just random wood lying around.
Yeah. There was some leftover floating wood. Always got to make sure to clear your floating wood from the sky, kids. That's not historically accurate. That's not how Vikings
always
really did it.
Hide your wood. Oh, I like this. Where are we going with this, George? Are we going into the water with this? A beautiful waterfront.
No, yeah, it spawned us right next to a beautiful, although, as I scan the horizon, it looks like we might be next to a lake instead of the ocean, but, I don't know, maybe down south we have some open area. But I love how,
I don't know, we can see land across.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, I love what a sense of, like, wonder and discovery this game kind of evokes. So, yeah, I've been real big on Valheim. I fell in love with Valheim. I'm having a blast with Valheim.
Yeah.
Which we did tell you would. I feel like we've all recommended ourselves games recently very well. We're doing a pretty good job for each other at the moment. Oh man, there's a lot of cut trees here.
I also want to point out for the people who aren't in the know. Whenever we end up playing Valheim on the server, I think it's McCree, always make sure to mention that in history, apparently, a lot of Viking women died from asphyxiation of them not building proper ventilation for the fireplaces.
Okay, so smoke damage is a real thing.
Smoke damage is historically accurate, yes.
We wondered why those houses were just causing us damage. And one member who had just joined and was like at the early level, had no abilities or anything, was just dying of smoke damage, and we had no idea why.
I appreciate that this game manages to tap into that sort of historical fun fact mode of frame of reference, but also, was it McCree? Who is really good at building Viking homes in this game?
He would claim he was.
Oh, okay.
But I had to put him in his place. And,
Lee,
and you know.
Okay.
I had to put him in his place and ruin his house.
Let's share some stories, right? Because last Friday we made some stories. I feel the record might need to be corrected here with what Liam is saying, because that's not quite how I remember it.
Whoa, what do you mean?
I remember you building a staircase straight up into the sky and then wondering why you couldn't put a bed on top of it.
No, my mission was that I wanted to build the highest bed out of everybody. And I basically built myself a Japanese apartment in the sky, which then for some reason Matt became my tenant of, and Matt just sat in my house while I built around him.
I exactly remember opening it up and be like, wow, this is extremely cramped.
I was playing Loop Hero while listening to you guys fuck around. That's basically what was going on.
Of course.
I was like, Matt's just chilling. He looks like, he had his helmet and his cape on. He looked like an old wanderer. And,
someone called me the Dark Souls merchant.
Anything.
But just constantly.
Oh,
yeah, you were a bit like an NPC.
Because you were like just sitting there laughing at everyone's jokes. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that between the three of us, I'm fairly certain that Liam is the one that takes video games the most seriously.
What?
And yet, when we threw him into Valheim with the Discord, he became a little griefer. You were a little troublemaker that night. You were just blocking everyone's projects, running around naked, attracting monsters into the home.
Look, we were building a lovely town together, but we needed a moat, and it all started because we needed a moat. So I just pickaxed us through to the ocean and flooded McCree's house.
Oh my goodness.
Which then became a good thing because then George built his house on top of the remains.
Yeah, you built a giant hole in the ground where there was a loving family home.
Yeah, and that became our, like, the main focal point of the town.
So somehow people like McCree are able to make extremely beautiful houses in Valheim that don't look like your usual janky player-made gunk. But me, on the other hand...
Yeah, you're not exactly Mr. Home Decorator, are you, really?
I try. I just made a lovely little half-finished cube. For those who are only listening, imagine, if you will, a Twinkie half-eaten. That's kind of sort of what we're working with here. We now have a front door. At some place, there's going to be a fireplace in here. I need to make sure we don't die of asphyxiation from.
You were pretty much building, like, baby's first Minecraft house, essentially.
Oh, okay. Ain't get no appreciation here.
Hey, well, it became the focal point of the town until I built 2 ladders, like giant ladders on top of it that went into the sky.
Yes, of course. It was all fun and games until the Liam Nation attacked.
Do we have a fireplace? We need to put a fireplace.
We need a fireplace, but I don't
have any resin.
And according to McCree's instructions, I decided to build our Viking house on a foundation instead of straight on the ground like savages. But it doesn't seem to be working out for me as well as it does him. I don't know how to tuck a fireplace into this thing as well as he does.
Oh, yeah, I just got some deer hide.
And he's not the only person who I've seen use the game as an outlet for that. I've been playing it with another group of friends, and sure enough, there is one guy in their group who is the resident Viking architecture major, apparently. And ultimately, though, at the end of the day, I just can't get over how, even when you're not that good at building in this game, the house is still going to at least look okay. It's not something that you have to open up a wiki guide on, like, aesthetic Minecraft house building 101.
We should also mention that we do have Matt here with us. But Matt's more like our overseeing camera guy.
Yeah, I walked him through the first-person camera mod installation.
I should have made the server because I would be able to activate creative mode and be able to fly around.
Can you do that in multiplayer mode?
Yeah, you can. But I have to be the server guy.
So I'm gonna say I do not cheat at games often.
Oh, damn.
But one time I died way too far away from my home in Valheim and decided to turn cheats on and fly my way back.
Oh, can you freely do that? Oh man, I love these devs. They've just, like, give the players the tools that make them customize the game to their extent.
Press
Like,
F5, but I'm a cheater. And you activate cheats.
Cheater. Cheats are now true. Okay.
Is it for everyone?
Debug mode is now true. I can fly around. Can you guys fly around if you press the Z button?
No.
I don't think it works.
So I would have to type it as well.
All right. Try debug mode.
George is a cheater.
DBUGMODE. All one word.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think it's only the server guy.
Only the server guy?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I'm quite happy being
a
a good Viking, a good little Viking. I don't want to be no dirty cheater.
Well, I really appreciate the linguistics of the console, because when you type in "I'm a cheater," it then says "true."
So I don't know about you guys, apart from playing other games other than Valheim this week, but I purchased a 3DS game in 2021.
Everyone makes fun of me for doing old person shit, and there you are eating.
He doesn't do it all the time, though. He doesn't do it all the time.
Listening to baseball on the radio and buying 3DS games.
Buying old 3DS games, for sure.
Which game?
It was. I don't know how I missed it. Obviously, I like sports, right? I like soccer, and I've made a sports game in the past, and I'm doing some research about some stuff, and I came across a Nintendo soccer game that released for the 3DS that I had no idea about. It's called Nintendo Pocket Soccer something. Nintendo Pocket Soccer Club or something, and it was like one of their.
We don't have easy access to just like alt tabbing to Wikipedia, so maybe we should just all guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but I'm going also to my Twitter where I posted about it. I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna. Is it Nintendo Snoo Soccer?
It was Nintendo Pocket Football Club, of course, not soccer. But I think it only released in Europe, which would make a lot of sense.
So they call it football.
Football. But so I don't know why I missed this, but it seems to be one of those games that was a digital only game from Nintendo that released on the 3DS eShop, and it's like basically I've only played a couple of hours of it now, and it's fairly simple and pretty rote. You're just managing a soccer team, and it's cute and adorable, and it's kind of like mini Pokemon. Not really. Inazuma 11 is more like that, but you're managing this team, and it's really unique because you'll play games and you'll watch the team auto sim the game, right?
Game and watch. And
they'll sort of run through the match, and when they're not so good at stuff, say shooting and stuff, your Mii character will shout like, "Oh, he's terrible at shooting, we should practice that." And you get like these little trading cards that allow you to train certain areas that you're weak at. So the game is always constantly giving you like these cards for whatever your team is sucking at, so then you can improve in those areas. And it's pretty good at like showing you how to focus on the weak points of the team and upgrade them and stuff like that. But it's fairly simple. It's a good little, cute little time. It's kind of been, it's those rose-tinted glasses of like, oh, I'm playing on a 3DS. This is kind of adorable. And so I've been playing my 3DS this week, and my hands are now really cramped because
those buttons are real tiny.
Just the thing is tiny, but it's nice to look at that screen again and play in 3D
and see the holograms.
Play 3D for a little bit. It's good fun. But yeah, that's all I really played outside of Valheim.
Yeah.
George, have you played anything? Or Matt, have you played anything outside of Loop Hero? What the hell have you guys been doing?
Well, George, you go.
I've been playing Valheim and writing about Hitman and writing advertisements for dildo websites. I also read
nice.
I read 2 actual Norse sagas.
Oh no, here we go. This is it, isn't it? Greece is over. Yeah. It's all about the Vikings.
Well, remember a year and a half ago when they revealed Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I was like, I'm going to read the Norse sagas while playing through Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes, very much so.
And I ended up reading through some Norse sagas while playing Valheim instead, because as it turns out, Assassin's Creed Valhalla kind of suffered from like the franchise fatigue problem. Unfortunate. But what is fortunate is that I read through the Vinland Sagas about Leif Erikson sailing to America and getting chased off by the natives.
Wait, are we talking Vinland Saga the manga or Vinland Saga like the stories?
I found out it was a manga.
Yeah, it's a fucking great manga.
And it turns out
fantastic anime too.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the actual well, not anything. It doesn't actually take place in the Vinland Saga. It's not the events as depicted in the Vinland Sagas. And the reasoning why, as I discovered, is that they're actually a lot more boring than I was expecting.
Does that kind of put you off?
Yeah, kind of, because like a year and a half ago I was so big into like ancient mythology. I was like reading the Book of Genesis alongside the Iliad and Gilgamesh and the Odyssey. And those
really delving deep into Adam and Eve.
Okay, by the time this episode is out, I don't know if the video will be up, but I literally just made an Ancient Aliens parody for my Adam and Eve commercial this time. like I had a lot of fun with that. But anyways, yeah, I read the Norse Vinland Sagas, where Leif Erikson goes to live for a year in Canada, but it doesn't work out. It was a lot more boring than I was expecting, because I think I'm too used to those like all-time greatest hits classics. Like the most important works of all literature ever. No one ever.
Shit, I nearly died.
No one ever seems to care as much about the Vinland Sagas as they do about the actual Adam and Eve. But yeah, it's from a very weird and different crossroads in history where those heroic stories of mythological history that are more historical fiction than they are history were getting phased out in favor of these Vikings writing stuff down with a pen on a piece of paper for the sake of hard history. This is when the Vikings were Christianizing. If you believe national stereotypes, then this would be the part of the history where Christianity is quelling the savage hearts of the barbarians in Europe. But it's more complicated than that. In the story, Leif Erikson is supposed to be sailing to Greenland to convert Greenland to Christianity, but he ends up getting blown way off course and lands in North America instead. And they try to set a settlement up, and you know what? I'm skipping ahead, because actually the most interesting parts of this story come before that, and it's the parts of the story that resemble the fantasy they're capturing in the game. And that's when they're sailing around in the middle of nowhere. They don't know where they are. The narrator is just like, and so they stayed in their boat for 4 days until touching down on the next land, which was covered in forests, so they called it Fjordland. Where they're just naming wherever they land based on whatever resources they happen to find right away. And when thinking back on how Valheim works, I thought that was really cute. That, like, Valheim really is, like, an honest exploration of this cultural power fantasy that, when you get down to the brass tacks of it, too, Minecraft was doing that as well. And, oh god, I just died in a historically accurate fashion by running into the fire and popping dead while trying to tell my stories. But anyways, yeah, so this game was also done by a Swedish team that I feel are being a little more explicit about the kind of power fantasy that Minecraft itself was meant to evoke. And it reminds me of one of the last big interviews Notch did before he went crazy, where he was talking to the New York Times about it, and how in the New York Times they mentioned that in Sweden, in public school, they teach you woodworking as a kid.
They do that in the UK.
Oh, come on. Are we just broke of this important skill that everyone else gets to learn?
You didn't have something called design tech when you were in school?
There was computer assisted design. Yeah, there was some kind of design class, and it was awful, and the teacher just sat in the back of the room while all the kids played Halo. Oh yeah, no, so now Matt's on fire!
Oh god, this is not good.
Yes, he just literally ran from one side of my frame to the other through the fire and the flames. We carry on!
If anybody didn't know, George is having a very good time.
For context, we are recording this during Liam's morning and my night. Yeah. It's usually the other way around, so that might explain.
This is a refreshing day.
Okay, anyways, the Vinland Sagas, surprisingly boring. They're trying to write down harder history. The stories begin with, there once was a man named Olaf, and the stories end with, and now the deeds of his days can be recorded in writing. And, they don't really do magic and monsters so much as I was hoping for. In one version of the story, one of the Vikings' wives, comes back from the dead as a draugr. Ooh. Yeah, I know, right? You would think it would be super duper interesting. But all they do is come back to haunt their husbands and some other Viking men to say, ooh, you should actually bury your dead in the church instead of on their farms where they lived. Oh, so it's like Jesus advice.
Yeah, Jesus advice.
And occasionally...
It's always Jesus. Why is Jesus always getting in the way of things?
Because this was written when the Vikings were converting to Christianity. So you have conflicts between paganism and Christianity in this story.
So essentially it was propaganda.
Leif Erikson's life got propagandized ever so slightly. I mean, it's not as big a deal as some of the other shit I've read, but it's still there.
Is it culturally significant that my only reference point for Leif Erikson was that one episode of SpongeBob where it was Leif Erikson Day?
In the American school system, they make a little bit of a bigger deal about him, I guess, but...
That's because he found America.
Found America.
Oh, where's America with you guys?
But you know, the common retort is there was already someone there, right? So, the magic and monsters don't have anything to do with the natives. It has to do with the Vikings converting to Christianity. One of the Vikings' wives comes back as a draugr and tells them to bury their dead at the church instead of at the farm. They also have one of the Vikings go hungry. He wanders off into the woods and goes crazy from exposure. They find him saying a prayer to Odin, or no, not to Odin, to Thor, on a rock. And when they get back to the camp, a whale washed up on the beach. And they decide to eat the whale. And it gives them food poisoning. And so then they're like, let's pray to Jesus instead. And when they do, the fish start biting their hooks after a long, cold winter where there were no fish biting.
The Jesus power,
right?
The power of Christ compels the fish.
So if you're a Christian Viking, you have better days at the fishing pier than if you're following the old gods.
Man, that's what the next God of War should be about. Kratos finding Jesus.
Holy shit!
And having a fight with Jesus? Can you imagine an epic fight with Jesus?
See, I was more thinking of him going to church, but now I'm imagining him fighting Jesus, and it's like Superman versus Goku.
Dude, the God of War versus the Son of Man. Yeah.
I like it. See,
I'll watch that UFC fight.
Yep.
Sure.
Is that the next Smash Brothers DLC?
I'll get that on pay-per-view.
Cory Barlog gets the higher us. That's just the truth.
And that's the gospel truth.
That's the. What would Kratos do? What would Kratos do?
But yeah.
Okay, we got a nice house going here, boys. We got a good house. Dadland is open for business.
I'm just kind of leveling the ground above the fireplace, so none of our women asphyxiate. But yeah.
Because we're totally gonna have them.
But I mean, you remember how it was also a big old deal whether or not you could play as a girl Viking? When Assassin's Creed Creed Ragnarok.
It's too hard to make women's buddies.
So, in the Icelandic sagas, in the saga of Eric the Red, when they are under attack by natives, one of the women who is pregnant at the time, like this is a historical source where one of those Viking warrior women pop up. She strips half her dress off, picks up a sword from one of the dead men laying on the ground, and then just starts wailing. And the narrator makes sure to mention how impressed everyone was and how scared the natives were.
I mean, I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed if one of you took your top off and started running at people with swords. Let alone anybody else.
Yes.
What heroic deeds, right? I also was expecting them to care a little bit more about the natives, but I guess that's a case where modern sensibilities are probably overlapping with the historical ones. These Vikings did not give a shit.
I was going to say, were they the pillaging type? Were they just...
They try to trade with them at first, but then relationships get sour because they don't bother to try and learn each other's language at all. I guess I don't know what I was expecting, because one of the things that's...
Can you imagine a Valheim server where you start it with, like, people from a foreign country, and then you have to trade and bargain with each other in a foreign language?
I think that could be a game. I don't know.
That would be so cool.
There have been cool linguistics mechanics in like Outer Wilds, for example. I don't want to spoil when it happens, but even linguistics is a science activity. They turn into a game for a bit of that one.
Oh, can you imagine George playing on a Japanese server trying to bargain for wood with Japanese server players?
The reason I suppose I shouldn't be surprised is that it is harder from an American perspective to put your self in the brains of Vikings at the time who would have been encountering natives all over the place. Because the world in general, especially Northern Europe, was not heavily urbanized at all. So the Vikings simultaneously weren't that surprised to find the natives there, but unlike modern audiences, they're not like, ooh, what tribe were they? Are they Did they find the Inuit? So when I went down the Wikipedia hole, they were calling them a proto-Inuit group or something. Apparently, whatever natives these Vikings encountered were long dead by the time Columbus got there afterwards.
Man, people were just finding things before Columbus, and he wasn't even supposed to find it.
And they thought Columbus did it first because the Vikings had these records stashed away from the rest of Europe.
Only
for
Americans
a while too.
would make a day about a man who found a country he didn't mean to find many, many years after other people had already found such country.
It's getting better about that. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, they did do some, like, deification of Christopher Columbus, but I've heard that's not part of the curriculum anymore.
Oh,
that, like,
damn.
whenever Columbus Day rolls around, they do mention how shitty he was to the natives.
Yeah. So, are you gonna give up reading Norse mythology because it's boring?
No, I'm sure there's some better ones out there. But I felt like this one was appropriate because I feel like it's kind of the adventure this game was built to capture. Like, a lot of what they do in the saga, you are doing in the game. They
I would totally be into reading about Viking housing and what what were their architectural
they don't
philosophies.
They don't go into detail, but they do make a base for, like, every winter. If they have to stay for the winter, they will make a little town wherever they land. And they'll name it after whatever they find, and they'll gather the local wood and try to make sure it's good wood. Like, it did hit a cute, satisfying, this 500 years, 1,000 years later, Butterfly Effect into a video game about what they're doing. That I thought was still really adorable and fun, and also I'm glad I finally read, one of the, according to my 5th grade history teachers at least, one of the foundational works of my people's history. Anyways, I think Leif Erikson is more a thing in America school than it is in European schools.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's a SpongeBob joke to me.
Also, it turned out that he wasn't the first. There was some other Viking who laid eyes on the land, but then they all came back with Leif Erikson a year later. And that's when they seriously
taking
tried to
credit for other people's
settle.
hard work.
Exactly.
God.
Alright, let's see if I can make myself a proper fireplace. I don't know if I can unless I get more stone.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit smoke inhalated, being right above the fire, building us a balcony.
So I want to recommend, because I haven't talked about Netflix No Chill bit. I want to recommend Malcolm and Marie.
Malcolm and Marie?
That is a good film. That is a good film.
Oh, it's a movie, so it won't take all week.
No, it won't. It is about relationships.
Oh no.
Toxicity.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Boop.
And I would say if you watch Tenet and you
hated Tenet,
you're thinking, oh, the main guy in Tenet, that guy's dry, garbage. Denzel Washington's kid. What happened to you? In this one, he's actually good, and supposedly he was good before Tenet too.
Wait, Denzel Washington's that guy's
all I know
dad?
of him. Yeah.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
So wait, he was the kid who needed surgery?
If you're into...
He was the kid who needed surgery so bad that he took the hospital hostage?
Is that what happened in
Oh,
something?
no, never. It's an old movie from like 20 years ago. Never mind. Denzel Washington movie. Whatever.
About
wow. a father and
that
a
was
son.
years ago. Holy crap. Yeah. Jeez,
Sorry,
it's
George
like a
is
different
bad at
lifetime
making
ago.
jokes again. Let me just pick these stones up and bring them back to base for the very thrilling gameplay everyone's watching.
If you want to hear a deep conversation about relationships, then I would say give this a try. Give this a try. It's not
That
for everyone,
scares me.
but it will be for some. For sure. And another thing that has took me away from Bloodborne has been Webtoons.
Webtoons? What's this?
It's like a it's like a site where people get to put their comics up. I think it used to be something else with manga.
Is this like a George Betty Boop thing?
Yeah, did you stumble down a weird part of the internet?
It's like American manga.
Comics!
With original.
Comic books.
Comic book. It's pretty good. I've been heavily into unoriginal.
Netflix unoriginals.
Unordinary. Sorry, unordinary.
George, what are you doing?
It has took
I'm
a very
windows
dark
for the
turn.
ventilation for the fire.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Matt.
Webtoons and tunes. It's a good one. It's a good one. Check out some Webtoons.
We're kind of hotboxing the
Let's
place.
talk about the ventilation in the fucking house.
I'm sorry. I'm building windows because unfortunately the cube I built has kind of turned into a hotbox right now from the fireplace. Oh no! Did I burn the meat?
Oh, I'm missing wood. Damn it.
All right, I'll toss
up.
you some wood. I have lots and lots of wood for you. Let's toss Liam 20
Put it in
pieces
this
of
chest.
wood. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, I just vomited it out into your shirt.
My rags picked it up. I like my
Awesome.
balcony, Matt.
That was pretty nice.
Thanks, man. It's a terrace for our ocean view. Hold my hand. Hold.
Valheim is romantic. Okay? I had a really good experience, right? Isn't this just the cutest game? And it
For
counts.
people who are listening to the audio segment, it's the three of us sat in my terrace, looking out upon the
sunset.
ocean.
And what I think is extremely fucking important for all the gamers in the crowd is that this is actually a gameplay mechanic. Like, we're technically resting here. I feel rested. My stamina and health is going to regen faster for 8 minutes now. There we go. Time to go. So I had an extremely cool moment where I logged into a server with a friend, and we set sail on his first long voyage together, and we started telling stories about the monsters we found. And, like, whether or not there are sea monsters in this game. And he was like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen any yet. And I was just like, have you heard the tale of Gyarados, brother?
Have you seen the Leviathan?
Some say there are more bosses incoming. Some say this is it. We may never know for sure. Like, everything about this feels like a super duper honest exploration of, like, what is so cool about community storytelling and town building and myth making together. I fucking love it. Oh!
It's for a man who doesn't jump on that hype train very often, George, considering you're a preacher of not pre-ordering and stuff like that, it is endearing to hear you.
And not early access.
And not early access, even though Valheim is early access. Oh,
yeah, I kind of gave that up after Subnautica, because Subnautica was really fucking good, and I came into it at the very tail end of its lifespan. And I wonder if I could have gotten the same experience maybe like 6 months earlier or something. I don't know.
And Valheim is just beginning, my love.
Right, so my plan actually is to do these first 4 bosses and then not play it for like a year and a half so that when I come back it feels like a fresh new thing again. That's gonna be good. Oh, and by then you know that whatever gets left behind on the Dad and Son server is gonna be a giant stone city by then.
Yeah, I want to come back and have everybody just build upon our thing. Sorry, Matt, what were you saying?
Just know that I beat the second boss, and have you fought the second boss?
Mm-hmm.
You have fought.
Yeah, I beat it. I beat the third boss, my friend. Have you heard legends of the third boss?
Wait, what? You have?
George has been playing this like a maniac.
Very difficult fight. One where your weapon properties are something you gotta pay attention to for once.
Whoa. Okay, never mind.
No.
That means you've played hours.
What were you gonna say?
And hours. Let me check. I want to check how much you played Valheim. That means you've played.
I might have the privacy settings set to do not embarrass me mode, but
how much have you played, George?
A lot, a good chunk.
How much do you?
No, I need to see those numbers because let me tell you, that second boss, that requires you to have some like beef beefy armor.
He has some elemental weaknesses and a exploitable cheese spot on his own altar.
Wait, did you dig underneath it?
Did you use the video cheese?
Did you dig underneath it?
Did you really use the video cheese?
No, I found it out through trial and error because it was a really fucking hard fight. But yeah, the bosses from 1 and on seem to be more like endurance battles than like strategy. They are a hell of a lot easier if you have at least one other friend to get them looking the other way at you, but they also are like spongy in a way. I don't know how I feel. Like I go back and forth on the bosses. The building's great. The sailing I think is fantastic. Like some of the best depiction of what being on an adventure in a boat in a video game is going to feel like. The bosses on the other hand, I don't know.
The raft is kind of shit.
Okay, so what I did with the raft was I would point myself at a destination and go make dinner. And just hope that nothing attacked the raft on the open water on the way. Because that thing is really, really slow, and I wasted a lot of time trying to get to the second boss a whole continent away just using rafts.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I did it, my friend.
I created a portal.
Yes.
And duped my way.
How do you create the portals?
What you want to be doing is keep the ingredients for a portal in your pocket as you adventure. And on the other side of the portal, keep the ingredients for a big ship. And that way, you can portal around really fast and just drop a ship wherever you want, break the portal down, take it with you on the ship, and then when you land with the ship, break it down, build another portal back, and deposit your excess inventory. Oh, it's good stuff.
Yep. I mean, at that point, you might as well just, make it part of the game, but whatever.
Oh,
it's
well,
fine.
I also installed the crafting from containers mod to make it go a little faster, too.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
a lot of things are starting to make sense now.
Some basic
cheesing bosses, mods.
Are you a cheater?
Okay.
I am a cheater.
Yes.
Some basic quality of life
True.
features. The first person camera mod's real fun too.
And I'm up here playing the game honest.
Like a pure Viking. Like a true Viking.
I got the beard to show it. And over here, George is just fucking typing in, "I'm a cheater."
I only did that
going
3
in debug mode and
times.
flying across the continent.
I didn't want to sail across the continent again to get my tombstone when I was making one of those teleporter trips. But, yeah,
Slightly disappointed in you.
I do actually wonder if they're going to implement some better death mechanics later on to make the death runs easier on everybody, because they're pretty rough.
I've just realized none of us have built a bed.
You know what?
We haven't built a bed yet. None of us.
I think it's that time of day where that's not the biggest concern. All right.
We're such burly Vikings. We just don't care.
I'll build a bed underground because they want it to have a ceiling. I meant underground. I meant on the first floor. I don't want to choke to death in the smoke, so I'll put it under the stairs. Oh my god!
Don't you build a roof inside of our house?
Bed needs a roof.
Don't you be roofing inside our house?
I won't roof inside the house like a Liam person. I'll build a roof on top of the house like a normal person.
Hugin was just talking to me about beds, so you must have started. Oh my god, I'm on fire! The smoke! George, what have you done?
Hugin appeared in my bed as soon as I plopped it down, as just in case I'm not lonely. Wait, where's the smoke? Where's the smoke?
It was down the first floor. The first floor.
Oh yes.
Right, I'm trying to build a third floor here. And then we can put a roof up. Help me build the third floor.
I will help you build the third floor, brother.
Okay, this is... Matt, stop it! Matt, stop it, you son of... Ah!
Bye-bye.
Oh, getting revenge, are we? Getting revenge, are we? Is that the way it is?
I'm eager to see the reactions to this episode, to see if we all meet the fans' expected playstyles, because I was genuinely surprised at what a shitty little griefer Liam turned out to be.
Hey, I've been good this one. I've been good. I've been a good boy.
So I guess they'll just have to take our word on it then, in regards to you being a shitty little greeper a week ago.
I was only being... Look, I did two things. One was I just made McCree's life misery, which, you know, I think everybody can get on board with.
That's historically accurate to the Viking experience.
Yeah.
Right.
We can get on board with that. And then the only other thing I did, which I feel bad for, is I pushed Matt off a roof.
Yeah, maybe. But you didn't die.
Well, the point why you're on the roof in the first place is because you just want to be up there. You're like Solid Snake in the box.
I do enjoy being in high places.
You feel more complete up there.
I do. I definitely do.
The closer you are to the tree, the more complete you feel.
I do. The more me and Yggdrasil are closer together, the more fun I'm having.
So, I also wanted to ask you guys about what you feel about the hunger system in this game.
It's fine. I think it's one of the... I don't know, because I've only really spent most of my time building in Valheim. Like, I haven't particularly gone and done the boss stuff, even though I've spent like 20 hours playing. So for me, that kind of stuff has maybe not necessarily had as much of an effect, considering I haven't gone too much into the adventuring and stuff yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys have a better... Is it kind of frustrating?
No. It's just you get more health. I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm putting the poop and pee meter on as soon as there's a mod for it. I want more.
The poopy pee meter.
Give me all your poop and pee meter mods. George's poopy pee meter. Liam's better facial animations.
No, I just want more stairs. That's it. More stairs, please. We've almost got a roof here.
I like the hunger system in that it feels like... Oh, what? Someone just fell off the roof. I heard Liam scream, but it was Matt that fell off the roof.
Matt fell off the roof. But my oh no, it's happening again.
What?
The structural integrity of my roof is falling through.
Well, you're flying too close to the sun, friend.
Yeah, one of those things that people maybe don't understand about Valheim is building roofs is a complicated matter.
Yeah, it looks like your corners are going to be a little uneven. Or that could be a solution, yes. That's pretty comfy.
Right, almost there. But, oh no, come on, just fucking...
The ceiling is collapsing on top of us as Liam is trying to place blocks down.
I never understand why, like, sometimes the roof system, I don't understand why. Like, why would that piece fall through?
These pieces need more of an anchor, Liam. Here, let me give us a ceiling. Okay, maybe the No.
Oh, good job, George. Well done. Good job.
All right. What about supporting columns? Maybe that's what you need. Some load-bearing ladders, maybe.
No. We could try with a. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Try it now. I just put some columns down, and
will that work?
Let's find out.
Maybe.
Okay, so far the ceiling is not collapsed on us, although
so far, so
I'm
good.
crossing my fingers. The suspense is palpable. All right.
Did we do it?
We have our roof.
Is it that easy?
It's so easy.
There we go. I'm putting my bed in. Wait! Hey, Daddy Potemkin's bed, baby.
And there's my bed.
Matt, where's your bed? Let's all sleep together.
I gave you all my wood. I gave you all my
let me
wood.
give you some of my wood then.
The roof!
Is the roof still falling down?
Look, I'm just gonna put a giant pillar in the middle of our bedroom.
Roof supporting pillar.
Just put a fire.
I'm just gonna put a giant. Oh no!
All right, I'm vomiting out some wood for Matt there. There you go. I just saw him vacuum it up. But yeah, right. the physics engine in this game is a notch more complicated than what's going on with Minecraft. Because stuff won't float in midair. It'll fall down like it's happening on us right now.
Yeah, and they have like a degree of durability and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. Like it doesn't quite work properly. It's janky, which I do enjoy because you get away with building some absolutely horrendous buildings that just look amazing.
Jank is good.
Jank is good, but then sometimes it's frustrating because you can't figure out why, and the game doesn't want to really help you in that regard.
Yeah. As it turns out, there's a parry mechanic.
Okay, now I wonder whether that. I wonder if that will work. Nope. We're destined to have this sky loft in our building.
Are we going to the news?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we got to talk about the big news story this week. Yeah, this is going to be a weird time frame when it comes up. But everyone in my social circle was talking about these NFT crypto art.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Pieces that are being sold for ridiculous amounts of money that generate apparently ridiculous amounts of electricity to make, that more or less create a string of text somewhere in the blockchain of cryptocurrency transactions that proves you were there paying money to stamp your code onto a certain JPEG of a piece of artwork. It's a very, very strange phenomenon of the digital economy in which a lot of the value is presumably speculative and just is supposed to be based on how much money people are willing to spend off this stuff in the first place. But from a materialist perspective, there's a hell of a lot of fuel getting built to make this stuff work, to prove that you have the non-fungible token of a JPEG of Donkey Kong is equal to a lot of cars burning through a lot of gas. For all I'm concerned, the value that these transactions represent is roughly representative of the amount of real-world resources that are getting burned up making this stuff. One of the big personalities that caught a lot of flack for participating is Jason Roher. Roher? How do you pronounce that?
Roher? I'm not really sure.
He was a popular indie developer last decade, I kind of want to say, when a big wave of indie games were catching everyone's popularity in the Meat Boy Fez indie game The Movie Day. He made Passage, which was a game about finding the meaning of life.
Fun.
He made Sleep is Death, which was a game about theatrically acting out stories with your friends. And then he made The Castle Doctrine, which is a game about using the Second Amendment to protect your home from home invaders that you shoot to kill.
Oh god.
Yeah, the guy's history and ludography has taken a really weird and libertarian turn that a lot of game developers don't necessarily agree with, which has put some people in an awkward spot. He launched a NFT art auction called the Crypto Doctrine, in which he's selling some low-resolution pixel art from the Castle Doctrine on NFT marketplaces. And for what I could see when I checked on how the auction was going a few days ago, it looked like everything had been closed down at the lofty price of whatever 0.1 crypto coins is that seemed like it might have actually been the starting point.
So, wait, we're missing a vital part of this.
There are a few of those. Georgie, you're going to talk about the fact that he didn't make any of the art, and all the art was free that was given to him, and they're from like personalities with names like Ashley Birch, and where is my list here? I remember seeing Ashley Birch on there. The guy who made Cannibalt, Adam Saltzman, also had some of his artwork on this page for sale, and they didn't explicitly give permission for him to do this.
Well, he asked for the art for the game originally, as like a gift to be in the game, and then
for publicity.
9 years later, now he's selling that.
And now it's bad publicity. Thanks, Jason Rower. So Adam Saltzman.
Can you imagine, right? If somebody made you, somebody asked you, "Hey,
Derek, Mr. Spelunky, Derek Spelunky's in there too."
Yeah, can you imagine if you asked somebody, right? Hey, will you make me some art for my game? Just some shitty paint, right? Some clip art, whatever, right?
Because that's all it is. It's like
that is all it
30 by 30 pixel painting.
Yeah. And then your friend's like, okay, and then they do, and you end up not only using it in a game, right, with certain respects to, only use it for the game, licensing, you're not making any money off it, etc., etc. Then 9 years later, you're like, I know, I'm going to sell that art you gave me for $9,000 in crypto.
And 3 days of burning diesel in an empty bus in the desert.
I feel like I'm missing something with the story here.
Please, inquire. Let's see how well we can do answering questions about this incredibly strange topic.
Yeah, I don't. I could be half paying attention, but how do you make crypto art?
So what you do is you create a unique token in the blockchain of a cryptocurrency purchase that is associated with the moment where you're stamping your identity on a JPEG of this image of the artwork. The idea is that you're paying lots and lots of money to have ownership over a chunk of code. Not even the art itself. It's not like you're buying the rights to the art. You're buying the non-fungible token.
Which fungible? What a horrible word.
What does that mean?
It's a horrible word as well. Fungible.
I literally for a second thought I was misreading it and they had made a typo for fudgeable. Because that's the idea, right? It's a record of a transaction. You can't fudge it a second time, so it's non-fudgeable.
No, well, it's
the
fungible.
Actual technical term is fungible.
Yeah, because it's not physical, right? It's
yeah.
It has no physical element to it.
So Matt, does that clear it up?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely understand what's going on now.
Oh my god.
He said sarcastically.
Yeah.
I have no idea myself. All I know is that Jason Roja basically stole art people made for him for free as a gift, and now he's selling them for $9,000 a piece. And there's 100 of them.
One of the paradoxes of cryptocurrency is that the whole record of all the transactions is roughly synonymous with the blockchain. You can trace purchases through the blockchain, which I wonder if that means that all the crazy illegal shit people are buying with it is going to bite them in the butt later on when the cops actually catch up with this stuff. But that does... it's so hard to describe. I don't know at the moment. I'm sure I'll think about a better way to describe it in the shower later on. But right now, I don't know how to describe it better than you are paying for a chunk of code that everyone sees when they look at the record of transactions being made with cryptocurrencies that prove that you made this transaction. And the value of these things can get really, really high into the tens of thousands of dollars, mostly from rich people throwing money around to see what sticks, what people are actually willing to spend money on. That is called speculation. But the machines that churn away at the cryptocurrency transactions that calculate these things, the value that cryptocurrencies are supposed to have is supposed to be synonymous with the computer math problems that they're churning away at, which burns a lot of electricity. Maybe if humanity figures out how to switch over to a totally green electricity infrastructure, that chunk of the problem might go away, but it's primarily the biggest reason why I think normal people are going to steer away from this stuff for a good long while. Is the energy costs involved.
And also, just we are in an energy crisis anyway. For fuck's sakes, why are you selfishly?
So it's for rich people.
Yes, it's entirely
for rich people.
And selfishly continuing to contribute to the downfall of our entire fucking global society, just because you wanted to buy some fucking shit art on the internet. Just so you could say, selfishly, that you were the only person who had the original part. Oh, it drives me nuts.
And Matt is just staring out into the ocean.
Yeah, Matt's just giving up.
Sadness.
Yeah, he's just upset
now.
now.
The state of indie game personalities when they go sour.
I mean, Jason Roja didn't have exactly the best reputation in the first place.
Jason Rohier has some answers to some frequently asked questions. He says, I'm definitely taking a walk on the moral wild side with this one. Follow the saccharine sound of my silver pipe as I lead the way to ruin.
What a pretentious tool, honestly.
He also said, "Oh, I'm definitely cashing in on the hype." There's a great quote from Adam Saltzman, Mr. Catabalt. He says, when Kotaku asked him for a statement on the matter, he said, "It's a lose-lose proposition for me. Either Jason does more gross public shit using my art, or else I have to, like, talk to Jason and spend some of my life doing that, which also sucks."
What a response.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the one news story I seriously looked into, found quotes, made a list of bullet points out. But some other mildly interesting things happened. Bethesda's lineup is now on Xbox Game Pass. Liam, you're going to be checking that out,
yeah,
right?
I think I'm gonna stop playing Prey, just because I missed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Prey was one of the good ones.
Yeah, I thought so too. Well, that's what I've heard anyway, so I'm gonna try and check that out now I can.
Victura has released, the developer of 6 Days in Fallujah, has released a statement saying, "We understand the events recreated in 6 Days in Fallujah are inseparable from politics."
Oh my goodness gracious.
There's a minor follow-up on Steam.
Read the room, boys. Jesus.
On Steam delisting the Frogwares game, The Sinking City. We covered that a few weeks ago in a news story, and Steam has followed up by actually removing it from the store. It turns out that the developer putting some trust in Steam was not as bad an idea as we may have thought. Although, I don't know, I feel like in the good old days of brick-and-mortar companies, or Japanese customer service, it would have taken them like 1 day instead of 4.
I don't know about that. At least it's getting sorted.
But Matt, for you in particular, this happened just yesterday. I want to share you the designs for the next generation of PlayStation VR controllers. Check your DMs, big boy.
Ooh, I see them.
They look pretty.
Yeah.
That looks weird.
Well, they look about as weird as I think they're supposed to, in the sense that they look like regular, ordinary, normal VR controllers.
I feel like my hands are going to be too big for this. I have a feeling.
I feel like you're not going to be able to reload pistols easily with these, because you got to slap your hands together sometimes for that.
These are for little baby children.
I worry if you're not going to be able to put your hand up to your face. Like, they got those big bubble shields around them, which VR controllers, usually do. They're just placed in a bigger, puffier arrangement with these.
Yeah.
You can't really see it in most of the images, but these things are covered with IR sensors. Where does it... Yeah, tracking. The VR controller is tracked by the new VR headset through a tracking ring across the bottom of the controller. They're not using the term, the Facebook marketing term, but it sounds like inside-out tracking, right?
Yeah, okay.
And there's also finger touch detection. The controller can detect your fingers without any pressing in the areas where you place your thumb, your index, or your middle fingers. This enables you to make more natural gestures with your hands during gameplay, which is like the index features. I might be overhyping that a bit too much, because I don't necessarily see a similar equivalent to the Valve Index finger tracking pad, which is a different kind of plastic that you can see a crease around. But they say finger tracking. The words finger tracking are on the blog post about this. And there's also analog sticks, which is, of course, a welcome upgrade from the regular, ordinary PSVR controllers. I don't know if anyone was really expecting a next generation of PSVR controllers to not have analog sticks, but at the end of the whole... I was about to say day, but it's really like a years-long wait. At the end of the year, I'm just happy to finally get more and more hard confirmation that this actually is for real happening.
I mean, they've definitely spent some R&D time on those controllers, so they're definitely still invested in VR.
Yeah, there was the old R&D video that Road to VR released, where Sony had an internal R&D video of finger tracking that looked more or less just like the Valve Index's solution. So
the worst thing they could do, though, is make these amazing, cool-looking controllers and then still have move support, and then games are just hampered by the minimum viable of entering, having to still be compatible with move controllers. And then what's the fucking point? I hope they drop move support, because otherwise, god damn it.
Well, I hope there's backwards compatibility with the old VR games. I don't know. It sounds really complicated. The PlayStation ecosystem right now is really complicated.
I mean, yeah, the next-gen crossover between the previous generation and this generation, and the amount of games that you can play, but they have two different versions, and some are compatible with 4K and not, and now it's going to add VR into that mix. It's going to be even crazier.
Yes, the official guide for how to transfer your saves over between all the different versions of Spider-Man is a labyrinth.
Very strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, PSVR 2 is real. It's happening. We now have the controllers. They don't look like the big boxy beige prototypes from earlier.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hopefully it's good. VR, any VR is good VR news, I think, at this point. I'm still going to get me an Oculus Quest 2, I think, but, yeah, I'll slide over your house, George, and show me your new plastic.
Yeah.
I know you like that PlayStation plastic.
Ooh.
Oh.
The PSVR is like...
You guys have beds up here. Let's all
The
bed
latex.
together.
It's really good. Anyways, yeah, because I wanted to go out and catch some meat and, progress a little further in this game. I feel like I kind of just ran around in circles building the house and collecting wood for an hour.
I feel like we've got Dadland up and running. The town hall is here.
Oh, bed needs a nearby fire?
Yeah. We also need a roof.
We have a nearby fire on the x-axis.
We're becoming quite high in the sky.
I don't think this is gonna work anymore unless we were to raise a bunch of ground up.
Let's do that. Well, do you have enough stone?
Yes, I do. Oh, I died. I immediately fell off the balcony and splattered onto the ground below, and now have to raise the ground from a less vantage point. Nope. But okay, for those listening at home, how in the world are we going to describe this game logic? Because you need a fire next to a bed, but our beds are on the third floor of a house. So what I'm going to do is and they don't want you building fires on wood surfaces. So I need to raise a dirt surface up. Let's do it here.
Yeah, just build on the side. It'll be fine.
Already have a nice starting spot.
Yeah,
so I'm jumping underneath myself while planting down.
Wait. Oh my god, wait. Let me double check you're not building inside.
I mean, if it is clipping...
It's clipping into the cooking fire.
So we're gonna have a little bit of dirt in our fire, and I just ran out of the stone requirements. Do you guys have stone on you?
I don't. I think that's high enough. You can put a fire there.
It might be. Matt, do you have any stone?
I do not.
I will go.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to find out. Oh, and it's accessible from the top. You can drop down safely onto it. All right, I just need 2 more pieces of stone, and then we are good.
I can set myself on fire by jumping off the balcony.
So I just created a giant, creepy earth pillar that is almost equal in size to our 3-story house. And it's going to have a tiny campfire next to the window our bedrooms are behind.
Oh, wait.
So that the freaking game will be satisfied that there's a bed near a fire.
Can you access it?
We're also going to need meat. And I got some leather scraps on the way for a bow and arrow for this first boss, if you guys are interested at all in that.
Ooh, we should. That's how we should cap it off with listener questions and us taking on the boss.
Oh my! The first boss is so much easier than it's insane what a wall the difficulty curve is after that guy.
I wonder if that is on purpose.
But anyways, let me see what else I left for us on the outline, because I think we are pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're on listener questions now. And
Yeah,
then
we're on listener questions. We did it.
Oh my god, is it 9 o'clock? What the fuck? Why is
Time
this
flies
happening?
when you're having fun.
time flies
I've
when you're
heard-
having fun.
I've heard of podcast gaming, but this is ridiculous. Well, I actually was thinking about there was some apprehension among us about whether or not this would work, but I think Valheim is such a chill
And we
podcast
still
game.
have no idea whether it worked. We will find out next
Yeah.
week.
So maybe we're calling it too early.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
we've had fun. We've had fun. That doesn't necessarily mean anybody else has had fun.
I mean, I feel like I've been working. You know, I've just been working this camera. You
That's
guys
just
have been
been
having
following
fun.
around.
I would say
Man,
you
it-
guys have been having fun. Me?
it's been like MTV. You did want to be the cameraman. You did want to be the cameraman.
Because it would not be watchable with your camera angles. No, it would not be watchable. Not for a podcast episode built around Valheim. They forced me to do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I was opposed. I was totally for this.
You don't
there
get
were
away
no
with that.
guns to your head.
Yeah, you want to
There
turn
was
on
access
PvP?
to your
Is that what
head.
I'm hearing, Leah? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, we're not turning on PvP. We're not.
Or
I
you
can
want to turn on
We're
PvP?
taking listener questions.
You want to turn on PvP, Leah? Is that what
All right,
I'm
I'll do it. I'm on.
You're on?
I'm ready. Yeah.
No way.
Where
no
are you?
way.
Which one is you? Are you about to have?
The one that says maybe dad. Kill him.
No, I'm maybe dad. Liam is Daddy Potemkin.
Wait, let
No.
me test it. Let me test it out. Are you actually?
Hey, you haven't even got yours on.
Are yours is on? Okay, just making sure. Okay.
All right.
Just making sure you're not trying to tease me like you did last time.
Are
That's
you
all.
ready? Are you ready to dance the dance, my fellow?
Yeah.
George,
for sure.
you're the
I'm
referee.
the referee, I guess.
All right.
Oh, look at
All right.
Matt eating food to prepare.
What do you mean? I had no food.
I
had
just
nothing.
saw you eat food.
All right, wait a minute. All right,
Are you ready?
Oh wait, I'm almost ready. I just turned it
Day
on.
4.
Let's turn it
Day
on.
4 in the big
Oh,
Let's
look
turn
at
it
him.
on.
He's
All
putting on some, like, scale
What-
armor.
Whoa, what are you doing?
What's up,
Where's
man? How you doing? How you doing, man? What's good, man? What's good?
All right. I want a good, clean fight.
What's good? What's
Fair
good?
and square.
How can we have a clean fight when Matt's bought his armor from his other server?
hits.
What are you
Below
talking
the
about?
belt.
What are you talking about, Leah? Oh,
And
God.
fight.
You set him on fire.
The referee's handicap.
God, let's see if you
Oh
can
my
vote
god, this is
Bye-bye.
awful. We were such a happy community.
I can't. Oh God, he's going after George. He's mad. He's
Yeah,
mad.
oh, feel free. I don't have PvP turned on. I'm just gonna keep,
Oh, you
playing the
lucky.
game
I
legit.
I can't believe you bought freaking other server armor over. I made a new character and everything.
I made a
I'm
new
not so
character
bad
too.
guy.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
You've let me down here, Matt.
All right.
Oh, you want
Good
this?
shot. Oh shit! It's still on. Oh, okay,
No,
it's
it's
off.
not.
now.
No, it's not.
I'm good.
I'm out here gathering stones. Missing the $1 million money shots. over
Hugin's
there.
like, you suffered a mortal blow. I'm like, well, I got killed by a griefer over here. Give me that armor.
Oh, now Matt's the griefer. Now that the cameras are rolling, Liam's on his best behavior. All right, and Matt's on his worst.
I mean, that's because he's the cameraman, so nobody can see what he looks like, which is like gleaming armor.
The listeners definitely knew. The full set
They know.
already.
Look at that full set. Look at me, a naked man next to you. I look like a... Yeah, go on, give it a try now. The gods are on my side.
Matt just
Oh, no.
two-shot at him.
Come here.
All
That
right.
hurt me.
What am I doing with this stone I'm bringing back?
So this is how gods feel.
Shall we go tackle the boss and while we answer questions and then...
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Well,
the
we're
game.
gonna need to do a bit of preparation. We need to cook some meat and make the fanciest armor and weapons we can currently throw
Matt, do you
together.
have...
I
Matt, do you have
meat.
sped...
Yeah, I have
Do you
meat.
have
I
sped...
have tails.
Do you
Oh,
have
yo,
deer
you gotta kill
trophies?
that. You gotta kill that guy
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
they do want deer trophies, don't they? So
Oh,
it's
no.
just farming. We're just gonna farm and take your questions and then do the boss.
Wow, this is...
There it is.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, this is quality.
It was leaning to the right. I don't know why I was leaning.
Oh no, you've been talking to your roommate too much about politics.
Oh God.
Leaning to the right.
Wow. But you know what? George.
Leaning
Dude,
to the right.
after a few years, those two words do not mean the same thing anymore, ever again. Like, you can't say left or right anymore, not in 2021. And you can't say that and expect me to shitpost about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm putting some meat on the Barbie. Oh, I have no cookable items. How do I have no cookable items? I just slew a boar. Anyways,
Just put some meat on the Barbie.
Can I build a bow? I cannot. I still need more leather scraps. Oh, are we gonna chase this deer?
Might as well.
Where is it? Where is it?
Chase it into the water. It'll get wet. There we go.
It will just swim away to its death. Like, AI is super stupid. Yep, see, now it's gone forever.
No.
Now it's gone forever.
He'll come back.
See you later, Bambi.
We just gotta make him think it's safe. Alright.
I salute you, brother. Matt just fucking one-shot it.
Boop. Oh, you're gonna die. You have you leveled up your swimming?
No,
I made a new character because I was playing the game fair and square.
Matt, you've got to go out and get it.
You be the retriever.
My swimming is pretty shit, though.
Like a hunting dog. Go find the,
I hope you drown.
Carcass in the grass.
I hope you drown in your armor. I hope your armor weighs you down to the bottom of the ocean.
It's on the floor, though.
Okay.
George, you're also gonna die.
Nah, I'm fine. I'm a good video game player. I got this. How much stone do I have on me? Because I could raise the ground on the way there.
Listener questions?
Listener questions. Wait, how am I gonna raise the ground and also take listener questions?
How many deer trophies do we need?
2. We just need 2. Just spawn it.
Okay, I've got one. I've got one.
Yeah, fuck the ground.
I've got one.
I don't care about...
I'm gonna put one in the chest.
I'm gonna raise the ground a little bit.
Do you guys have any deer trophies?
No, I don't have any.
Oh, okay, so we got one. So we only need
the other one's at the bottom of the sea.
Alright.
Yeah, can you actually go down in the bottom?
No.
Can you swim down?
You have to raise the ground and make a jump.
I don't think it's down.
And that requires stone. Oh yeah, it's there. Check in first person mode. And dip your head under the water.
Just put your god mode on, George, and fly over there.
Okay, no one's gonna care, right?
Go ahead.
We can edit.
I want to see how that looks
the
like.
god mode.
I'm a cheater. Debug
Once you
mode.
just spawn, you can just spawn it though.
Because
literally
then I have to look up the spawn code.
Oh my god, that was hacking going on. You still can't go inside the water? You can't go inside the water?
Yeah, there we go. I got it. Oh, and there's some good meat.
Oh my god, this is
video
ridiculous.
games.
This is ridiculous.
I'm a cheater. False. Nice. All right. I'm gonna throw some.
So the other trophies in the chest next to the workbench.
I'm gonna.
We need to figure out where he is, though.
I definitely.
I did. You just gotta check the stone right next door.
Yeah,
we're good.
George, in this chest is the other trophy.
I'll combine them. Matt should totally be the one doing most of the fighting because he has his big dick.
I'm just kind of turning up to watch.
Yeah,
kill it.
I would.
It's a spectator sport at this point.
I had this, chaps.
Cue up that with listener question, George.
We're pretty far.
All right. Listener questions. We got a little bit from Patreon and a little bit from the email address. dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com is your port of entry into this show, and /or the Dad and Sons Patreon under the Patreon questions channel of the Patreon Discord.
Let's run to it.
Chemo F has a nice one. Dear Liam360, George 1, and Matt Series X, what is your favorite needlessly edgy character's backstory?
Oh.
And I don't know if I have a favorite one off the top of my head, but I definitely have a lot of memorable memories. You know, as a Metal Gear Solid fan, this tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, Ocelot's a pretty fucking big edgelord, isn't he?
Okay. He would be a contender for favorite. Like, I'm thinking of examples of the most egregious, and like, I want to say Skullface, was so needlessly edgy, but not in a cute way like Shadow the Hedgehog is.
There's a lot of like Final Fantasy bosses that were pretty edgy.
Yeah.
Especially what's his name from 10. What's his name? Fucking Bluehead, dude.
With the giant wedding dress on all the time.
Yeah.
Seymour?
Okay.
Simon?
Oh yeah, Seymour. Yeah.
Did Kefka have much of a backstory?
Hey, whoa. Let's keep that's blasphemous. Don't say bad things about Kefka. You keep your Kefka points to yourself. Oh, there's a house over here.
I think it's across the river.
Oh, no. Do we have to build a raft to get there? Am I going to be using my leather scraps on that instead?
There's water. There's water to... Yeah, it's on that island over there.
That is interesting. I have not played a seed where you have to build some sort of watercraft just to get to the first boss.
To get to Ethica,
Well, I guess we have a new project, guys.
What do we need for the raft? I've got 1 leather scrap, George. Do you want it?
We need 6 leather scraps, 20 wood, 6 resin. We might actually be good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I need resin and wood.
Here's the leather scrap.
I'm good on scrap. I just need 1 more piece of resin, but I do need like 10 more pieces of wood.
Here's the resin.
Good thing there's
and
branches here.
There you go.
Wood,
George.
Wood.
George, it's
wood.
resin and wood. It's right there.
Just vacuum it right
What
up.
would the wood
Check this out. Ow!
Yeah! Woo! Let's ride!
And then I'll just tear the bench down. Hell yeah! This is absolutely my favorite part of the game right here.
Oh, Matt just gave us the power of the boss we're about to kill.
I said that before being reminded that we're in a raft and not a real boat. Okay.
Oh, God.
So we got a lot of time here to think of characters with needlessly edgy backstories.
Jesus.
This is gonna take some time.
In the Metal Gear Solid series, all the bosses have some kind of fun backstory after the fact. A lot of them get really edgy. Psycho Mantis is super edgy. Didn't he like kill his whole village or something when they found out he was psychic? But he was also a really fun character with great dialogue. I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog is like a classic meme himself.
Oh, yeah,
but
Shadow.
The thing with Shadow is that it's hard to tell anymore. It's been so long, like, do people actually genuinely, unironically either hate or like Shadow? I think Shadow's just funny. Like, Shadow is a piece of comedy.
It just kind of exists now.
Right. We're in a post-arguing about Shadow world. Now we're just accepting it. Alright, I think if I sail into the wind a little bit here, maybe I can catch enough of a speed boost to carry us over into a turn closer to the island. Also, should we... We can't even. There's no way we could build a teleporter even if we want to, because we don't have that stuff unlocked yet, because it's gated behind the first boss. Boy, I'm glad I'm not playing this single player. Even though the first boss is a tutorial, basically.
I mean, I have no qualms that Matt's just gonna one-shot it.
Oh shit, our raft just took damage for some reason?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if we hit a giant rock or the Leviathan.
But man,
just
like
attack
this.
That would be bad.
These kinds of scenes strike that perfect balance between you feeling incredibly fragile, but also incredibly comfy with your bros,
This is a good ride.
Yeah, it really is. I'm glad we got to do some sailing on the great big Let's Play episode, the one where we're changing the formula.
No, not. Okay, next question.
Next question. Oscar G has another good one for us. You need to demake a AAA game into a Super Nintendo game. What franchise that didn't exist until the Xbox/PS3 era do you choose, and how does it work?
Ooh. Bayonetta.
Okay. How does it work?
It's a 2D combat platformer.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
And it's slightly like bullet helly. So you have, like Metal Slug style, with her shooting bullets out of her feet.
Since we're playing one right now, I would want to suggest a Minecraft-like, except I would want to be really, really conservative about it and be like, just make it like Terraria.
I would love to see a Terraria.
Yeah, but that means Terraria already kind of is that, right? So you're not really demaking anything.
Well,
it fits the parameters of the... Look at this volumetric shadow effect. It fits the parameters of the question.
I guess so.
So who brought our trophies?
You did.
No, I didn't.
Hold on, let me pick one while you guys.
Wait, Matt, do you have
Did
the
we
trophies?
forget the trophies?
No, I never have a trophy.
We
George,
forgot
you
the
were supposed to get the trophy.
I
No,
thought
you
I was
were
supposed to bring the trophy.
Why would I have the trophies?
You, George, I literally said the trophies in the chest.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Matt.
Hey, good job, Matt.
Thank you for looking
Save.
up Deer's phone number.
Right.
Save the episode.
So, all right. Well, that was a big time jump there, right? I would like to see something like... I'd be totally down for more like 2D or in the Blind Forest type of weirdness, but I feel like that's a cop out. That's a cop out there.
It's a George answer.
This is, you know, I would love to see something that's like only done in 3D to somehow fit into a
What? Yeah.
Like some sort of physics game or something.
Do you guys need a campfire or we good?
No, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Like Deus Ex or
yeah, because there is Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo.
Shadowrun's a great
So
game
like
as well.
Cyberpunk RPG
Cyberpunk
is...
I want a Cyberpunk remake. Oh wait, they already made it.
It's
called Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You boys ready for this?
Are we ready?
I'm ready to watch you do it, Matt.
You got a good angle. Here. Go ahead.
Let's go. George, load up another question before we do it.
Hello, dads and sons and daughters, what have you. I finally decided to work on some games I'd like to share. My current project is a game about dreams, with gameplay becoming more and more involved as you get more and more lucid as you sleep. My issue is I'm a terrible artist, so I thought about the whole game being text-based. My question is this. Do you think a text-based game would be more appealing than one with bad to meh graphics? Or do you think it would be the opposite? Oh my god, we are just chipping away at this thing.
I think bad art lends to your lucidness of your dreams, so I think fucking just go right in.
I do want to say that a game with bad art still has more screenshot appeal than a game. Unless the text looks really, really pretty and involved.
You will really struggle to get anybody to play a text-based game, my friend. I'm sorry.
So the one big example, I don't even know the name of the game, which speaks to how niche of a genre it is. What is he doing?
Oh, where is he going?
Is
he drowning?
Oh
He's
my
drowning
god.
in the water. Oh god, the whoa!
Oh god!
Whoa! What is going? What is? Whoa! God,
The
my audio
gods
must
are
have gotten really bad.
brothers.
Oh god. Oh, that's a good look with
We
that
need
one.
to pray to
Whoa.
Jesus instead, real quick.
Holy shit! Those waves.
I don't know if I can take another hit.
Is he calling forth another boss? That was insane.
I wonder about that, because it does get super foggy during the boss fights. Like, does it roll in the storm weather?
Look, you see, even with bad art, we would have got excited about those waves in that moment. It's very hard to describe.
There is a game that is based off of a literary property that apparently The Witcher was heavily inspired by. That's a text-based game, but you like open up the pages of a tome with like ink seals that you stamp on the.
George just got mauled.
Oh no!
Oh, he's almost dead.
I was waiting for you guys to do the last hit.
I'm coming. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, he's dead. You did it.
Oh, he got stuck in.
He's dead.
There goes George. Alright, let's go sit by George's.
Yay, let's go sit by George's.
No.
Let's end this by sitting next to George's corpse.
You guys don't have to wait on me. Feel free to keep yourself busy. I'll be there in just one minor moment.
Oh
Here
my god!
Okay, maybe I'm not good at Let's Plays after all.
If you're listening to the audio feature, George just cheated and flew in and then double died, I guess.
I landed a bit too inelegantly.
Too inelegantly. Oh, man. Here rests maybe Dad.
We'll see you guys next week. It's been real.
This was fun. I hope that this one-off, and I swear it's a one-off. Don't panic. But, however, if you would like to see what happened in Dadland while you were listening to this episode, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/dadandsonspodcast or whatever it is. You can join our Discord community where you will be able to access Dadland and play with all the other wonderful sons and daughters, all the other sons Vikings and daughter Vikings.
And there we go.
I'm stopping.
Yeah, I thought that was neat, man.